Amazing Spider-Man number 800 by Dan Slott and penciled by pretty much everybody on the planet. Spider-Man assesses the damage and takes off. Realizing the Anti-Venom is the only way to stop the Goblin, he heads for Alchemax. On the way, Harry and Liz catch him up on the Normie situation, while Jonah calls Eddie Brock for help. When Spidey reaches the vault, it's been raided, but a pumpkin bomb catches him up on Norman's next move. Parker broke the rules, so now Aunt May and Mary Jane are his next targets. Before he can reach MJ, though, Venom is already on the scene. She sounds the alarm, which rattles the symbiote, but not the Red Goblin, who attacks. At Aunt May's apartment, an innocent Normie knocks on the door, but before he can hurt her, Doc Ock jumps in to protect her. The fight gets intense, but not as bad as the one in Stark Tower. Spider-Man, Venom, and a repulsor glove-wearing MJ hit the Goblin simultaneously, but Osborn is able to counter it. Eventually, he's had enough and retreats. Eddie tells Spider-Man that he needs to use his symbiote if he's going to have any chance of winning. And so, clad in black again, Pete takes off. Before he can get to Aunt May's, Doc Ock fights to protect her from Goblin Child. He's joined remotely by Jonah and the Spider Slayer, but eventually Granddad Red Goblin shows up to make quick work of what's left. When Spider-Man swings in, the Goblin is on his way out. He finds a wounded May and Octavius, forgiving Ock for all past transgressions for saving his aunt. Meanwhile, Norm and Normie meet Liz at Alchemax in order to make a deal. She declines and hurriedly explains to her son the situation as Harry flies out on a goblin glider and attacks his father with humanitrons. Osborn gets the upper hand and throws Liz from the window. Luckily, Spider-Man saves her, and seeing his grandfather's true side, Normie turns on him. The Red Goblin gets pinned by the glider, and Liz and Harry promise to love Normie forever. The fight rages outside between Spider-Man and Osborn. He reveals to the web crawler that he's left tiny shards of the Carnage virus inside each one of his victims. Nearly all of his friends and family are affected, but when he tries to activate it, nothing happens. Flash Thompson used all of the rest of the Anti-Venom to save them. Alright, so at this point, this is way too much review for one video. An 80-page comic book? Let's fast track it a little bit. Flash Thompson is critically wounded during the fight and sadly passes away. Red Goblin lands in Times Square and decides to straight up murder everyone while Spider-Man does all he can to stop him. Finally, he explains that Norman Osborn did nothing himself. It was really all the Carnage symbiote. They decide to have a mano-a-mano non-suit fight, and eventually Spider-Man is victorious. In the end, Norman gets sent away to an insane asylum and thinks that he's Cletus Cassidy. Normie is saved from the Carnage symbiote. Flash Thompson is laid to rest and is an American hero, and the issue ends with one final epilogue. Max Modell welcomes his newest guest fellow, Dr. Elliot Tarver, to Horizon Labs. As he greets a familiar Anna Maria Marconi, it turns out that the Doctor is none other than the superior Spider-Man, Dr. Otto Octavius. What happens next? We'll have to wait as this arc is concluded. So I did my best, but an 80-page book is a little too lengthy to review. Plus, I have way too many other books to read. I'll save my farewell to Dan Slott for next issue, but as far as this one goes, let's wrap it up. Not a whole lot of 5-minute comic reviews on YouTube. I give this one a 9 out of 10. If you like this video, there's hundreds more like it, spanning several current and classic story arcs. Click the boxes here for more playlists. This video is also accompanied by my blog at nerdiestkidyouknow.com. You can also follow links to my Facebook or Twitter pages, as well as a link to this very issue for sale on my eBay page by clicking below. For the Nerdiest Kid You Know, I'm Sam Torito. Thanks for watching.